What is up, guys? Welcome back to Behind the Ball. First things first, Kajiko Ko Akajun, probably butchered it, commented on the last video. Oh, just found this by chance, looking up any Aston Villa in filters of YouTube, upload date, and found your channel. Super duper, love the channel, up the Villa, new sub too. Kajuku, big shout out to you, my friend, but welcome back to part 2 of the chopping block. Today we're going to be going through Aston Villa's midfielders. Who's safe, who isn't? For those who didn't watch last video, I'll link it in the description down below. We're going to be grading our midfield on 4 things: untouchable, safe, dubious, and chopping block. Obviously, I'm sure you guys can all guess what they mean. Untouchable, I don't think they're going to be sold this summer. Safe, I think they're probably not going to be sold this summer, but there's always a chance. Dubious, I don't know. I think it's probable that they might be being sold. And chopping block, I don't think that they will be with Aston Villa when we kick our first Premier League ball next season. Without any further ado, we'll get into it. But first, guys, if you are enjoying the content, leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below your thoughts on any of these players that I go through in this video. I'm going to try and include a few more of the players that we have out on loan, because I missed out a couple for timing issues last video, because it was already sort of 17 minutes long. But you guys seem to like it. Like I say, let's just get into it. Agree, disagree, pop a comment down below. We're going to be going through all the players. Let's go. So first of all, we're going to kick it off with a little bit of a controversial one. Douglas Luiz. Now, a lot of you might be thinking untouchable. I've only graded him as safe. He's contracted till 2023, so only a year left on his contract, and there hasn't seemed to be that much movement. He played 34 games for us this season. Mixed reviews from fans on how he performed this season. The reason that I went for safe and not untouchable is kind of twofold. Number one, with Kamara coming in, yes, you know, Luiz probably works better as a number 8, a little bit further forward to the pitch. I don't think he really works as a CDM in the Premier League. So number one, with Kamara coming in, are we either going to give him a little bit of room further forward, but is he above Jacob Ramsey and John McGinn, who are probably more natural at getting Villa like progressing through the pitch, which is what we're going to need from our left and right number 8s next season, obviously if we stay with the same formation. But number 2, Jose Mourinho is a big fan of Douglas Luiz. He's at Roma. They've just won the European Super League Cup, whatever it's called, Conference Super League, Fantastico, Fantasia, and they want Douglas Luiz. And you know, I know, you know, some Villa fans have a big affinity for Douglas Luiz. I don't think he's a bad player. He is still young, but you know, with the players that Villa are going for this summer, if Roma bid 30, 40 million for Douglas Luiz, I'd probably say yes. I'd probably say yes, and we can invest that 30, 40 mil in a Basuma type player. You know, only safe for me. I do think maybe we'll give him an extra season, but I think if Roma come in with a big offer, he might be a goner. Secondly, we have John McGinn, played 35 games for us this season, contracted until 2025. Untouchable. I think Steven Gerrard is a huge admirer of this. I think that, you know, McGinn is clearly in his plans going forward. I think, like I say again, I come back to the signing of Kamara. He's not going to get rid of McGinn. He's not going to use him as a CDM anymore. You know, you look at McGinn for Scotland, he plays more of a number 10 role. And you look at his stats for Scotland, he actually gets goals and assists for them galore. I'm not saying he's going to play that role for Aston Villa. I do believe he's going to be used as one of the 2 number 8s, probably on the right-hand side. His goal contributions this season, I think it was 3 goals, 3 assists. Could be better. I think he's going to have to up that next season because he's going to have less defensive responsibilities. But, you know, Gerrard clearly a big admirer, loved by all the fans, tenacious, 99 stamina, if we're going off FIFA terms. I don't think he's going anywhere. Next up, we have someone who we thought was going to come in and revolutionise our midfield. It is Morgan Sanson. I've put him on the chopping block. He's contracted to 2025. Only managed 10 games for Villa this season. Seems to constantly be injured or out of favour. Again, we're still linked with so many midfielders, and specifically sort of number 8 type midfielders. I just don't see a place for Sanson next season. I think maybe if we sell Douglas Luiz, we'll keep Sanson. But I think if Luiz stays, there is probably zero chance of Sanson being here next season. He has been fit when the Gerrard era has been ushered in. Clearly he's a versatile number 8, can play CDM, cam, etc., etc. But he's clearly not in favour. Gerrard doesn't seem to rate him or play him very often. Contracted to 2025. He's only 27 years old. I think we could probably get a decent sum for him, sort of the 15 mil range. I think he will be moved on this summer. I just don't see a place for him in the 26-man squad that will get announced. Next up, Marvellous Nakamba. Contracted to 2024, so still 2 years left. Only played 16 games this season. Obviously, he was really crucial for Gerrard when he first came in. He really sort of held that CDM spot down. He looked like a new man. Got injured, came back. Didn't look too fantastic. He's clearly still trusted by Gerrard, which is why I haven't put him as chopping block, despite the signing of Kamara and the emergence of another player who we'll come on to a little bit later on. I've put him as dubious. He's clearly still trusted by Gerrard. It didn't work, but Gerrard brought him on for Coutinho in the 70th minute against Man City, clearly thinking that Nakamba would be the man that could come in and solidify that defence and give us the win. We went on to concede 3 goals, though. A limited CDM, a fantastic CDM, yes, but limited in his ability going forward with the ball, his passing range and his dribbling, etc., etc. Doesn't really get many goal contributions. I know that's not what you're looking for from a CDM, but still in the Premier League it would help. I think he's been linked with Everton and I think one other club as well. 2 years left on his contract. Could we kind of maybe just move him on for 15, 20 mil? Maybe that's a bit ambitious, 10 to 15 possibly. He might still be at the club. He's a good player to have around, but I'm not sure if he will make it further than the next season at the most. But then you look, he's got a year left on his contract. Do we just cash in and trust our young players to fill that number 2 CDM void? Possibly. Next up, we do have a controversial one. Carney Chupmawaka. Might be butchering the surname. I've never really learned how to say it properly, so we're just going to stick with Carney. I'll put him down as dubious. A few reasons. Contract, 2023, only 1 year left. Played 12 games for us this season. Clearly, this kid, 18 years old, he is a talent. Don't get me wrong. No doubt about it. He is a massive talent. Dubious for 2 reasons. One, yesterday his representatives held talks with Barcelona. 2, I don't think Gerrard likes his attitude and I don't think he's performed. Technically, it's 3 points. Well, let's delve into it a little bit. Like I say, he's contracted to Villa for an extra year and he's holding talks with Barcelona because he's angry about his playtime, supposedly. Does he really think he is going to go to Barcelona and knock Busquets, Gavi, who I know they're trying to tie down to a contract, Pedri? Does he think he's going to knock them out of their first team? He's straight into La Masia playing for their youth team setup, probably for 3 or 4 years when he'll probably get sold to like a random team. Unless you're young and Spanish, I don't think Barcelona have a fantastic record of developing players like that. He's not going to get playtime there. He got his chance against Burnley, and he looked terrible. He was walking. It looked like he couldn't be asked. To me, if you're an 18-year-old player that's angry about your playtime, you come in against a team like Burnley and you put in a shift. He didn't even put in a shift. First player substituted off, I think it said a lot. Played 12 games this season. His only goal contribution was 1 assist. Fair enough, it was a good assist, but 12 games, 1 assist. I kind of hope that he has this summer to proper sit down with Gerrard and get his head screwed on right. Because look at Jacob Ramsey. He had like no goal contributions. Gerrard's come in, he's transformed him into one of the brightest English young players in the league. I think Carney needs to get his head screwed on straight, personally. No one knows what's going on behind closed doors, and I get that. But we even signed his brother probably to keep him happy at this club. Could develop into a special player, but at the moment, I'm putting him as dubious. He doesn't seem like he wants to be at the club. He doesn't grasp his opportunities when he gets given them. I think it's going to be a very, very interesting summer, and he's going to be a player that I'm going to be monitoring very, very closely. But he is definitely one I would like to hear your opinions on down in the comments. So please do script something up for me to read and reply to, because I love it. Next up, we have another untouchable player. I'm not even going to beat around the bush. Jacob Ramsey, contracted to 2027, played 34 games for us this season. Untouchable. Gerrard clearly loves him. Gerrard clearly is moulding him into a star. I think he'll make his first appearance for the England squad next season. I don't think he's going to get into the World Cup squad, but I think the games after the World Cup that we play, I think he'll be in there. I honestly believe next season he might get into double figures for goals. He got 6 goals this season. He's clearly going to be allowed more room to attack with Kamara coming in. I know everything kind of revolves back around him. Gerrard has clearly taken him underneath his wing. 21 years old. I think he is actually still 20. A big player, big presence on the pitch, big confidence and big talent, untouchable, not going anywhere. And I hope he develops into a Villa legend more than Gail Platt did. Next up, we have another 18-year-old, one that is actually working hard and getting rewarded for his efforts. Tim Arogbenham, safe, contracted to 2027, played 3 games for us last year. The only reason I put him as safe and not untouchable is I think there could be, if Nakamba stays, I think there's a chance that we'll loan him out to either a lower level club in the Premier League, possibly someone that's come up, like maybe a Nottingham Forest if they do come up, a Bournemouth or a Fulham. That's the only thing. That's the only way I could see him not being at the club. So in a sense, he's untouchable, but I've put him as safe just purely for the loan aspect of it. Again, 18 years old. Unlike Carney, signed a new contract to 2027. Gerrard has come out and praised how he trains quite regularly. He's got his opportunity, and when he has got his opportunity, I think he's played really well in that CDM spot. If Nakamba's sold, I have no doubt in my mind that he will be our number 2 behind Kamara. And if Kamara has to deputise somewhere else, I think that Gerrard would be more than happy to trust Tim coming into that CDM spot. Again, big, commanding player, plays with a head way beyond his years, very smart on the ball, composed under pressure. And I think, again, another one that could have a bright future for the club. Next up, our new boy, Boubacar Kamara. Not going to dwell too long on him. I've done a whole video on him, which I will also link in the description. It'll be the second video link. Untouchable, contracted to 2027. He signed a long-term contract with us. Obviously hasn't played any games for us, but got to the Conference League semi-final with Marseille, finished second in the French table with Marseille, captained them, recently got called up to the France senior team. CDM, again, go watch my video on him if you want to know any more about him and how his signing could affect Aston Villa. Clearly untouchable, and I'm very, very excited to see how he can not only solidify Aston Villa defensively, but also allow us more creative freedom going forward. It's a very, very exciting one on a free as well. Let's go, boys. Next up, another untouchable player. Despite kind of falling out of favour with Gerrard towards the end of the season, we have that man from Argentina, Emmy Buendia. Like I say, untouchable, contracted to 2026, played 35 games for us this season. When he does play, he looks good. He's still got that little kind of error proneness that we saw in the penalty against Burnley, but then he made up for it with a goal. Not that you should have to make up for it, if you know what I mean. But again, he was only our record signing last season. God knows if we'll beat that this summer with some of the people that we've been linked to. I wouldn't be too sure that Buendia will be our record signing for long. But I think Gerrard's going to find a way to get him into the team, get him firing. He's clearly a talented player, got an eye for an assist, an eye for goal as well. He'll be at Villa next season. I think he'll be an important player as well. Don't see him going anywhere. Another one, untouchable, Philippe Coutinho, recently signed for Aston Villa, contracted to 2026. Played 19 games for us this season, scoring 5 goals and getting 3 assists. I think that goal against Manchester City sums him up as a player. He's such a high-quality player, such a high IQ player. He, with a whole summer under Gerrard to get back up to full fitness. I know people are probably saying he probably is at full fitness. After the summer, I think we'll see a fully fit Coutinho. If he stays injury-free next season, I think he's going to be vital to us. He's clearly a Champions League caliber player. Let's not beat around the bush here. I still can't believe that I have an Aston Villa top that says Coutinho on the back, and next season I could do it again. Do you know what I mean? He's one of those pinch yourself moments. Untouchable, going to be a big player for us, and I cannot wait to see him get sort of 25 to 30 to 35 games under his belt next season. And I think he could be key to a cup run as well. I've got a feeling. And last but not least, the only lone player that I am going to cover, because I'm fully aware of how long this video is probably going to be, Conor Hourihane, chopping block, contracted to 2023, didn't play any games for the Premier League this season. What a man. I had to put up the picture of him after the goal in the playoffs. Fantastic player, fantastic servant to the club. For me, Hourihane defines our championship run. Probably our most key player over that championship run. I know people will obviously say that Gail Platt played his part, but Hourihane was such an ever-present and such such an influence for us over that championship run. I'm eternally grateful for what he's done for the club. But I want to see him get playing time, and he's not going to get that playing time at Aston Villa. I think he's going to be moved on. You know, whether that's to Sheffield United or whether that's to another club, I'm not sure he'll get a move to a a Premier League club, unless again it's one of those clubs that's recently come up. I don't care where he goes. Let's just sell him to somewhere that the fans are going to adore him as much as we have, and he's going to get played. And I wish him all the best. And that will do it for this video, guys. I know there are certain players that I'll just go over quickly. Aaron Ramsey, Finn Azaz, players like that. They're not going to be in the first team next season. Let's just not beat around the bush. I don't think they're going to be in the first team next season. They've been loaned out to League Two and National League. So as good as they are, they're not going to be in the first team. Again, like I've just seen a comment literally pop up on my phone as I'm recording this from someone who has actually gone through all of the defenders and actually given his opinion. That is what I want to see, guys. I want to have that conversation with you guys in the comments. I just love talking football, and I love talking football with people that have different opinions than me, because then you can amalgamate your knowledge into one, and you know, you become a better person for it. And I am always on board with other opinions. So leave a comment down below if you disagree or agree with anyone that I put in this vid, any of their you know, positions that I put. Luiz safe. Maybe some people would have him as untouchable, but some people put Carney as gone, as opposed to dubious. I don't know. The attackers video will be out tomorrow, and that will include like the out and out wingers who I didn't include in this video, sort of Traore and Bailey, etc., and a lot more lone players. We don't actually have that many attackers at the club. Again, midfield is somewhere where I can see a lot of movement. We've already got Kamara in. We're still in for Basuma. Calvin Phillips is still circling around the atmosphere. So I think there is going to be actually quite a lot of change in our midfield going forward for next season, which is very, very exciting, because, you know, they say that, you know, attackers and defenders win games, but the midfield is really important in football, and is actually probably underrated in terms of a position. Like I say, exciting times, guys. Comment down below. Attacker video out tomorrow, possibly another video in between, from some news that's broke today. And as always, guys, enjoy your day. I'm out.